Welcome back to Healthier Daily, the channel where we give you the simple science-backed truths to live a stronger and more independent life after 60. I'm your host, Dr. Ben Carter. When your legs feel weak, heavy, and tired, what is the usual advice you hear? Push harder, go to the gym, lift more weights. But what if the solution to rebuilding your strength wasn't about pushing your body harder? What if the secret was actually about being gentler with it? What if one of the most powerful things you could do to fight muscle loss, reduce the inflammation that causes aches and boost your daily energy, was not a strenuous exercise, but a simple, warm, and soothing cup of tea? Today, we are going to explore this surprising and powerful idea. And we're going to do it in a very special way. Today, we are bringing together the best of both worlds, the ancient, timeless wisdom of Eastern herbal medicine and the powerful validation of modern Western science. We're going to show you how these two incredible perspectives have arrived at the exact same conclusion about 3 specific teas that can help you rebuild your leg strength from the inside out. To be our guide to this timeless Eastern wisdom, we are so honored to be joined by a man who embodies it. He is a physician who has spent over a century studying the healing power of nature and the importance of daily rituals. It is our great privilege to welcome Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara.
Thank you, Ben. It is a pleasure. In the East, for thousands of years, we have used these simple roots and leaves to help the body restore its natural balance and vitality. It is a wonderful thing to see that modern science is now using its powerful tools to discover the precise reasons why these gentle remedies are so effective.
And that is our exact plan for this guide. We've structured it as a 3-step tea protocol for leg strength. Dr. Hinohara will introduce each of these 3 healing teas and explain its traditional purpose. Then I will add the modern scientific research that confirms and explains its benefits. We will cover the teas to calm inflammation, to boost energy and circulation, and to restore the entire system. It is a true blessing to have access to both this ancient wisdom and modern understanding to better care for our health. If you are ready to explore this powerful combination of Eastern wisdom and Western science, please type the number 1 in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's completely free, and you will not want to miss this unique guide. Okay, doctor, let's dive right into your 3-step tea protocol. What is the first step in this gentle approach to rebuilding leg strength, and which tea helps us accomplish it?
The first and most important step in our system is to calm the fire. Before we can ask our muscles to rebuild and become stronger, we must first reduce the chronic low-grade inflammation that is the root cause of so much of the pain, stiffness, and swelling in the legs and joints. For this, we use a very powerful and ancient combination that has been trusted in Asia for centuries. Our first tea is ginger turmeric tea. In traditional Eastern medicine, we often see conditions like arthritis as a form of cold and stagnation in the joints which blocks the flow of energy and blood. Both ginger and turmeric are considered powerful, warming herbs. They help to move the blood, warm the joints from the inside, and disperse the stagnation that is causing the pain. I must tell you about a patient of mine, a 72-year-old retired school teacher. Her greatest passion was her garden, but her days were becoming defined by the constant deep pain in her knees. They were often visibly swollen, very stiff, when she woke up in the morning, and they would ache with a deep, cold pain in the evenings. Even a short trip to the grocery store would cause them to throb for hours afterward. She felt like her world was becoming smaller, and she was trapped by this constant pain. She was not taking any strong medications, only some over-the-counter pain relievers that would upset her stomach. I asked her to start a simple daily ritual, 1 warm cup of fresh ginger and turmeric tea every single morning. She would simply slice the fresh roots, place them in her favorite mug, and let them steep in hot water while she read her morning paper. After 1 month of this consistent daily habit, she came back to my office. She told me that the constant deep ache that she felt in her bones had started to fade. The swelling around her knees was noticeably less. She said, "My knees don't feel so angry at me anymore." For her, this simple warming tea was helping to calm the fire that had been causing her so much misery.
That is a beautiful story of finding relief in such a simple, natural way. And the modern Western science now shows us exactly why that traditional tea was so effective for her. It is a true and perfect example of East meets West. Let's start with the ginger. Ginger is rich in powerful anti-inflammatory compounds, the most famous of which are called gingerols. Extensive research has shown that gingerols have a strong effect on the body. They work by inhibiting the production of certain inflammatory chemicals in the body, like prostaglandins and leukotrienes. This mechanism is similar to how some common NSAID pain relievers, like ibuprofen, work, but in a much gentler way that does not harm the stomach. And then we have the turmeric, which is truly a superstar. The beautiful golden color comes from its main active compound, curcumin. Curcumin is one of the most studied natural anti-inflammatory compounds in the entire world. It works on a very deep systemic level. It helps to block a master inflammatory switch in our bodies called NF-kappa B. By helping to calm this master switch, curcumin can help to reduce inflammation, not just in the joints, but throughout the entire body. It is truly a powerful medicine from nature. And I have to add one crucial scientific tip from the source material: always add a tiny pinch of black pepper to your tea. Black pepper contains a compound called piperine, which has been shown in studies to increase your body's absorption of curcumin by up to 2,000%. It makes the turmeric much more powerful.
That is a very important point. The synergy is key.
So, the science is incredibly strong. Now, doctor, you mentioned your patient used fresh roots. For our viewers in America who want to try this, what is the best and most practical way to prepare this tea?
The traditional and I believe the most potent way is to use the fresh roots if you can. You can now find both fresh ginger root and fresh turmeric root in the produce section of most American grocery stores. You simply take a small thumb-sized piece of each. You do not even have to peel them, just wash them well. Slice them into thin coins and place them in a mug. Pour hot but not boiling water over them and let them steep for about 10 minutes. This is the best and most traditional way.
And what about for convenience? I know many people are busy. Are the powders or the pre-made tea bags still effective?
Yes, they can still be very helpful. If you are using powders, you can use about half a teaspoon of a high-quality organic ginger powder and half a teaspoon of organic turmeric powder in your mug. And again, you must remember that tiny pinch of black pepper. If you are using tea bags, it is very important to look for a high-quality organic brand that contains only ginger and turmeric, with no added sugars or artificial flavors. While the fresh root is always best, a consistent cup from a good quality tea bag is much better for your health than no cup at all.
It's wonderful that we have so many options to access these healing gifts from nature. So, doctor, our first step is to calm the fire of inflammation with that wonderful ginger turmeric tea. That's a powerful foundation to build upon. What is the second step in your protocol, the one you called Boost the Fuel?
Once the fire of chronic inflammation has been calmed, we must then begin to add back the vital energy to the system. In the East, we would call this Qi, pronounced Qi. It is the life force that gives us our stamina, our strength, and our will to move. For this, we use a very classic and very powerful combination. Our second tea is ginseng green tea. This combination is for the person who does not necessarily have a lot of joint pain, but who feels a deep and persistent fatigue. It is for the person who tells me, my legs just don't have any power anymore. I had a patient, a 70-year-old man, who had recently retired from a long career as an accountant, a job that required him to sit at a desk for many hours. He was so looking forward to an active retirement of traveling and walking, but he felt exhausted all the time. He told me, I have no real pain, doctor, but my personal battery is always empty. I want to go for a walk in the park, but after just 10 minutes, my legs feel like they weigh 1,000 pounds. His vital energy was very low. We started him on one simple habit, 1 cup of ginseng green tea every morning instead of his usual 2nd cup of coffee. We did not change anything else in his diet. After a few months, he came back to my office and he said something very interesting to me. He said, I still get tired if I walk for a very long time, but the desire to walk has finally returned. I feel a spark of energy in me again. That spark he was feeling was his chi, his life force being gently restored.
To feel a spark of energy again. That is what so many people watching are looking for. And once again, the modern Western science beautifully explains the specific mechanisms behind what your patient was experiencing. It is a perfect fusion of Eastern wisdom and Western science. Let's start with the ginseng. Ginseng is a famous adaptogen. That is a scientific term for a natural substance that helps your body become more resilient to physical and mental stress. The active compounds in ginseng, called ginsenosides, have been shown in many studies to help your body cells use oxygen more efficiently. When your muscles can use oxygen better, it directly translates to better energy production in your mitochondria. This leads to improved physical stamina and less fatigue. And when you pair that with green tea as you suggest, the effect is amplified. Green tea is loaded with a very powerful class of antioxidants called catechins, the most famous of which is EGG. These catechins are incredible protectors. They help to shield your muscle cells from the daily oxidative stress that can cause them to feel tired and to age prematurely. But green tea also contains a very special amino acid that you do not find in coffee. It is called L-theanine. This is what makes the energy from green tea feel so different. L-theanine promotes a state of calm, focused alertness. It prevents the jittery feeling and the subsequent energy crash that so many people get from coffee. So with this amazing combination, you are getting both the physical stamina from the ginseng and the calm, focused mental energy from the green tea.
It is a very balanced form of energy.
It is. Now, doctor, when our viewers go to a health food store, they might see different types of ginseng. Is there a specific kind they should look for to get these benefits? And what is the best way to prepare this tea?
Yes, the type of ginseng does matter. For the purpose of energy and stamina, you should look for Panax ginseng, which is sometimes also called Korean or Asian ginseng. The most traditional way to prepare it is to use a few thin slices of the dried root. You would first prepare your green tea. It is very important to use hot water, but not boiling water for green tea, as boiling water will burn the delicate leaves and make the tea taste bitter. You should steep your green tea bag or leaves for just 2 to 3 minutes. After you remove the tea, you can then add your ginseng slices to the hot water and let them steep for another 5 minutes to release their compounds.
And what about for convenience? Are the ginseng powders a good option?
Yes, a good quality ginseng powder is a fine alternative. You would use about 1/4 of a teaspoon of the powder stirred into your steeped green tea. The most important thing is consistency. This is not a drink that will give you a sudden artificial jolt of energy like a sugary drink would. It is a gentle daily habit that works in the background, steadily improving your body's resilience and your vitality over time.
It's a beautiful example of how nature provides these balanced solutions. Not just raw power, but calm, focused strength. It's a true blessing to have these tools. This is so helpful, and this wisdom is truly universal. To help us see our global community learning together, please let us know what city, state, or country you are watching from. We love seeing where you are all joining us from. So we've calmed the fire of inflammation with ginger and turmeric, and we've boosted the fuel for our energy and stamina with ginseng and green tea. Doctor, what is the third and final step in your East-West tea protocol, the one you called Restore the System?
The final step is perhaps the deepest and most profound. After we have calmed the physical inflammation and added back the vital energy, we must restore the body's deep foundational balance. In our modern world, we must address the problem of chronic stress. For this, we turn to a very special and powerful root from the ancient Ayurvedic tradition of India. Our third tea is ashwagandha root tea. This tea is for the person whose weakness does not necessarily come from physical pain or low energy, but from a feeling of being constantly overwhelmed, stressed, and unable to get deep restorative sleep. It is for the person who tells me they feel shaky or on edge. I had a patient, a 68-year-old woman. Her life was very stressful as she was the primary caregiver for her husband who had a chronic illness. She came to me and said, "Doctor, I feel shaky inside. My legs don't feel solid or grounded beneath me, and my sleep is terrible. I wake up in the morning feeling more tired than when I went to bed." Her body was stuck in a constant state of high alert, and this stress was actively breaking down her muscle tissue. We created a simple evening ritual for her. 1 hour before she planned to go to bed, she would gently simmer the dried ashwagandha root in a small pot of water to make a warm, earthy tea. She would drink it in a quiet room away from the noise of the television. After a month of this consistent practice, she came to my office and told me that the shaky feeling was gone. She was sleeping more deeply through the night and was waking up feeling for the first time in years truly rested. By calming her body's stress response, she had finally given it a chance to enter a state of deep repair at night.
That is another story that I know will resonate with so many people. The connection between chronic stress and physical weakness is so real and so often overlooked. Let's talk about the Western science of how an adaptogen like ashwagandha works, because it's fascinating. When we are under chronic stress, our body is flooded with a hormone called cortisol. High cortisol is very catabolic, which is a scientific term that means it actively breaks down your body's tissues, including your muscle tissue, for emergency fuel. Ashwagandha has been shown in numerous high-quality clinical studies to help regulate the body's entire stress response system, which is known as the HPA axis. By helping to balance this system, it can significantly lower your circulating cortisol levels. When your cortisol is lower, your body finally gets the message that it is safe, that there is no emergency, and that it can finally switch from a breakdown mode into a rebuild and repair mode.
That is a perfect scientific explanation for this ancient wisdom. The ashwagandha root provides a deep sense of calm and safety to the body.
So we have these 3 amazing teas, doctor, each with a different primary purpose. ginger turmeric for physical inflammation and pain, ginseng green tea for energy and stamina, and ashwagandha for stress and deep recovery. This leads to the big practical question: how does a person choose which one is right for them? Or can they be used together?
That is the beauty of this gentle, natural approach. You can listen to your body and choose the tea that it is asking for on any given day. If you wake up and your knees are feeling very stiff and achy, then the ginger turmeric tea is your best choice for the morning to address that physical inflammation. If your main problem is a deep fatigue and a lack of motivation to get up and move, then the ginseng green tea in the morning is the best choice to help build your vital energy. And if your primary problem is a feeling of stress, anxiety, and you have not been sleeping well, then the ashwagandha tea in the evening is the most powerful choice to help your body and your mind recover.
And can they be combined? For example, can someone have the ginger turmeric in the morning and the ashwagandha at night?
Yes, that is a wonderful and very wise combination. You are calming the physical inflammation in the morning, which helps you move through your day with less pain, and you are calming the mental and nervous system stress in the evening, which helps you get the deep sleep you need for repair. This creates a full 24-hour cycle of support for your body. The only caution I would give is not to take the energizing ginseng tea too late in the day, as it could interfere with your sleep.
Doctor, this has been an incredible guide. You've shown us a powerful East meets West approach to rebuilding our leg strength. You've given us a complete 3-step tea protocol: ginger turmeric tea to calm the physical inflammation, ginseng green tea to boost the body's energy and stamina, and ashwagandha tea to restore the nervous system from the effects of stress. This is a gentle yet very powerful strategy to fight back against sarcopenia. What's so hopeful about this is that it provides a proactive way to manage the decline in leg strength that so many people fear is inevitable. This is not about accepting sarcopenia. It's about using wise traditional remedies that are now being validated by modern science to fight it. This is a natural, sustainable, and enjoyable way to support your leg strength and maintain your independence for all the years to come.
I want to leave everyone watching with this one final thought. Ancient wisdom and modern science are not enemies. They are two different languages telling the same beautiful story of healing. I encourage you to listen to both. Be consistent with your gentle daily habits. A simple warm cup of tea, taken with intention every day, can be a more powerful medicine than you can possibly imagine.
That is a beautiful way to end, Doctor. Two languages telling the same story. It's a true blessing to live in a time where we can appreciate both the timeless God-given gifts of nature and the incredible scientific understanding that helps us to use them wisely and safely. And of course, the wisest way to begin is to speak with your personal doctor, especially if you have existing health conditions or are taking multiple medications, as some of these powerful herbs can have interactions. Please remember that our conversation today is for educational purposes. It is not a substitute for the personal medical advice of your own trusted physician. If you found this guide helpful and are excited to try one of these teas, please give this video a like so that others can find this valuable information. And be sure to share it with a friend or family member who is looking for natural ways to feel stronger. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. It is completely free, and it ensures you will not miss our next deep dive into your health and well-being. And for our community discussion today, we would love to know, which of these 3 healing teas are you most curious to try for your own health journey? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for being with us. Be well.